Hello listeners and fellow Game Pass fans, get yourself set and ready for your favourite unofficial Game Pass podcast, Game Pass News. So I'll hand you over to Nick and Sean and get the show started.
Welcome to Game Pass News, recorded live Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023. I am Nintendo, one half of the most awesome GPN crew known to the world, the universe. Mr. Sean Abbott from across the pond, he's the other awesome half. We, today, give away money, talk about why Redfall's review blues make us green, and Microsoft is letting you, too, give away Game Pass, with some caveats, of course. You better sit down, buckle up, because Game Pass News is one crazy ride.
Let's look at the funk.
I just can't get enough of that, Sean. I love it. I don't know.
It's a great intro song. It made a great outro song. I can't be knocked. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. For sure, man. That's great stuff. Well, how's your week been, sir? How has your week been today? Or this week? How's your week been today?
When did we? I can't remember when we last. Friday. Was it Friday? Thursday? Thursday was the last time. So yeah, it's been all right. I was very tired at work on Friday after the podcast. But pushed through. Only did half a day. Went back and saw the Mario movie again for the second time with Logan, which was a lot of fun. Very much enjoyed it a second time round. I'd say I think I enjoyed it more the second time round.
Nice.
Than the first time, because like I wasn't trying to digest everything. I was like, I can remember bits. I was just trying to pick out things in the background. So which was nice. Still got the same when the illumination bit disappeared after the with the minion in the car, and they did the Nintendo one where the 8-bit Mario and Luigi hit the brick. It still gave me the goosebumps. So yeah, definitely fantastic film. So do that. We had a pretty good weekend. Pretty action packed, lots of family related stuff. We had parties. My two nieces share a birthday just several years apart. I think I said in the last episode. So it was their party on Sunday, and then we had them over afterwards to watch the Formula One and stuff, because my brother-in-law and sister-in-law are really big Formula One fans as well. And then Bank Holiday Monday was a pretty chilled out day. We absolutely smashed the bits out of all the wardrobe and swapped all our, as you do in a freezing cold English country, you swap your wardrobe around from your winter wardrobe to your summer wardrobe. So we went through that process. Did a trial run of all the suitcases in the car when we go away in July.
Nice.
Just to make sure I could fit everything in for when we drove to the airport.
And did it all fit?
And then yes, surprisingly, that new little green car of mine that I got is 2 large suitcases and 1 small one fit in the boot, which was quite impressive.
So. Nice. Good deal. We didn't swap clothes around, but we did. So for those of you who don't know, I have like a little nook here in the basement that's probably like, I don't know, 10 by 10, which is like my podcasting station. If I flip the camera, the rest of it is the kids, okay? And is probably like 30 by 20, I don't know, something like that, much larger. And it was an absolute disaster. Like, I mean, it was like small gremlins had just like destroyed it. So I had it, I was done. And so I was like, listen, so that's what we did on Saturday. Something akin to what you're saying. It's a spring clean type thing. I was like, listen, we're going down there and we are going to throw stuff away and we're going to organize stuff and we're going to figure it out, because I can't even move down there anymore because there's so much crap. And so that's what we did. We got it all straightened up and cleaned up, and it looks nice, and it'll last for like a week, and that'll be fantastic. So no, it's almost been a week, and so far it's still in good order, so that's good. But yeah, so that was pretty much our Saturday, at least, for sure. Sunday was gone, and then it's back to work. Yeah, the weekends just like fly by, you know? It's like all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, okay, shit, we're back to work. Great. So I don't know.
Yeah, it was the early May bank holiday yesterday. So like Lindsay had an extra day off. So that was quite nice. She had like a 3-day weekend, well, a 4-day weekend because she doesn't work Fridays anyway. And then because this weekend coming is the King's coronation in the UK, we have a bank holiday on the Monday in lieu of everybody wasting a day off watching the coronation on Saturday.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, so she gets like another 4-day weekend. So I'm hoping that, well, I don't know. I'm at work all weekend this weekend coming, so I won't be doing anything.
So does she get Friday off just because she doesn't have classes that day? Is that?
Yeah, she just basically she does Monday to Thursday, and then because of the subject that she teaches, there's no lessons on or classes for that day. So
Okay.
it's like it's her planning day. So that's when she like comes home and does all the planning for the following week. But
Gotcha.
so yeah.
I was well, actually, I emailed somebody for Game Pass News. I don't know if you saw the email, but when I got the email back, I emailed on Friday, and when I got the email back, I thought it was amazing. The email said I got an auto email on Friday, and the email said, "I'm not at work today because of the blurring lines of work and weekend play. So we take Fridays off. We take reset Fridays, and I'm off exploring my passions or something like that." And I was like,
Nice.
what the hell? I need to work there. Like, y'all just like don't work on Fridays. I mean, what happens when all of a sudden like 5 years go down the road and they're like, listen, there's a real blur of lines between Thursday and reset Fridays. I think we really need to move that. It seemed fantastic.
I've worked some form of shift pattern since I was 16. I've literally when I first started on I started a stagger pattern, so I did 7 days on, 3 days off, 7 days on, 4 days off. I've always worked that, and the 3 days off always worked out as a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off. So like I've always had time off when there isn't people. And as I've gotten older, I realize I'm not much of a people person. So like I like to be able to go places and do stuff in my own time and not have to wait through traffic and queuing and messing about with people, just kind of meandering around. So like in 2018, October 2018, I did the 29th of October 2018 to the 27th of October 2019, working Monday to Friday in an office. And that killed me. That absolutely killed me. I hated it. I hated the fact that it was like 5 days, 9 to 5. And then like I'd have the weekend where like I tried to cram everything in, spend some more time with kids, catch up on this, that, and the other, see family. And then like Monday I come around and I'm like, man, I need some more days off. What's going on?
Yeah.
So as soon as I got back on shift, it was awesome. Like this shift pattern I'm working now was probably one of the best I've ever worked, where I might do 24 hours one week for 3 weeks in a row, and then I'll do a really shitty week where I do 74 hours, but then that's it. It's like it's rough for the smooth. So
yeah, I always know when it's like the bad week. I'm like, I haven't heard from Sean in a while. I was like, Sean, what's going on, man? I haven't heard from you. It's my bad week. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Well, best of luck to you, pal.
Nobody hears from me. It literally like my family don't even think I exist. They kind of like they see me for a whole of like 12 hours on a Thursday. That's about it.
Yeah. And then that's what I was gonna say. I see, since I started with working for Habitat, I work with a bunch of like contract. These people don't take holidays. They don't give a shit whether it's Martin Luther King Day, literally Christmas Eve. I'm like celebrating with family, and I get this call, and it's a contractor for one of our builds. I'm like, crap, I hope, there's something not on fire, or, something's not going on. So I'm like, okay, I better answer. So I'm like, hey, and he's like, I'm out here, and I'm just wondering, where's all the stuff you said you brought a week ago? I need to get it going. I'm like, it's Christmas Eve, man. Like, go take a break. And he's like, I don't give a shit. I'm trying to get this job done for you. And I'm like, okay, fine. I was like, what? It's just like... like that's just how it works. I get calls at the weirdest freaking times about just like where stuff is, a problem, whatever. I'm like, why are you on the job site right now? But thank you for working, okay? But why? But yeah,
contracting makes good money, so yeah, I can completely understand that.
Yeah, they don't freaking care, man. But good for them. Hey, Antonio is in the chat. What's up, man? Thanks for joining. All right, so that's enough of that. Let's move into a little bit of events. We are going to pick a winner. We're giving away money, right, Sean?
That's correct. We are giving away the 3 months of free Game Pass. It's been a good month. 15 people have entered. This is going to be the last achievement hunters that you see for a while. Well, not for a while. We're revamping it and readjusting a few things for season 3, which is coming in a couple of episodes' time. So we're not handing out a May mission, but keep your eyes peeled and your ears pinned because we will be announcing a few bits and pieces soon. Nick's taking away my sheet.
I'm trying to I've tried to share, but I'm having some slight difficulties here, Sean. I was trying to share the screen and then just kidding. Don't pay any attention to the man that's hitting all the buttons and not doing anything right. How about that?
Nick's currently using his palm and just going.
Yeah, I'm just like. Hope one of these does the right thing. That would be fantastic. Hey, look at that. I did it, people. Well, no, I didn't. There we go. I did it. I really did do it.
Yeah, I can see it really nice on Zoom. So, you know.
Okay. All right. Whew, wow, man, I tell you, when you got to click the buttons. Okay. So it's 1 through 1,773. Is that right?
That's correct. Before we get started,
doing your things.
Yeah, I'm going to say we had 1, 2, 3 people hit the full 15,000 gamer score mark. A couple of people that were close, and then it just kind of trails off. I beat you. I finally beat you in April. In April I beat you.
Nice. Congratulations.
But I thank Ghostwire Tokyo for that.
Yeah, you were in hitting that pretty. Okay, we have 4 people in the chat. If anybody is listening and able to hit, give me a number between like 1 and 5. So if there's anybody, otherwise I'll just pick a rando number. But that's how many times I'm going to hit the button, and the number you give me is where I'm stopping, and that person is winning this deal. 3. Antonio thank you so much. I really appreciate it. All right, so 3 times. So hitting it once. There's 1. 1,683. 137. Numbering's hard. And 559 is number 3. 559.
559 is Carnage, which is, I believe, Scott.
Scott, yeah, that's his second win, isn't it?
That is his second win. Mm-hmm. Literally on the week that he could join, in the month he could rejoin, he has won it again. So
that man is like literally, we are paying his Game Pass. I love it. Good job, man. Carnage wins again. Now we're gonna stop that and do a thing here, and I'm gonna hit the right buttons, and boom, there we go. We're back.
Oh.
Congrats, Carnage.
Boom.
We will reach out to you and get you your 3 months of Game Pass. Yeah. So season 3 comes out when? Like in two weeks, right? Not next week, but the week out. Not next podcast, but the next podcast after. Is that correct? Pretty sure. That's 104.
That is correct.
There you go.
Yeah.
We don't have like changes like we did for season 2, but we will be announcing. I mean, because that was a lot. But we do have some changes coming up. Things that we think will make podcasts run a bit smoother. Things we've heard you guys say once or twice that you would like us to change. So we're going to be swapping some of that up, and we'll be announcing some of that probably next week. I don't know. We'll see. Probably next week. So,
yep.
Sean, we need, before we get into our top stories, the other event we need to chat about is our Fantasy Critic, our games and choices. It's very...
Yeah, I'm worried about this because I've seen Redfall take a...
Yeah, you chose Redfall.
Dive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did. And I would have too. I was actually kind of mad that you got it, to be honest, just to be like legit. And now I'm not as mad. Now we'll have a conversation about that, obviously. But now I'm not as mad because so far they've dipped 1 point actually. They've gone from 65 to 64. So you're losing 6 points.
Yeah. Man.
Now, I will say this. I am in that effed point. I did this last year too with Microsoft Flight Simulator DLC, except I never thought it would happen with this one. I had the last case of Benedict Fox, which I personally I don't find to be all that enjoyable, but that's just me. The last case of Benedict Fox does not currently have enough reviews to count, which is a really shitty place to be because you can't drop it at that point. It has 4 reviews. Sean, you got to look at it. 4 reviews. Are you ready? It has 4 reviews.
Yep.
It has a 5 out of 10, a 7 out of 10, an 8 out of 10, and a 9 out of 10. Like it has 4 reviews, and they are all a different number out of 10. Now some of those are like 50 out of 100, but whatever. We'll just do the reduction and call it what it is. Yeah. So there it is. But we'll have to see. I might be glad that doesn't score. I don't know. I'd have to do the hard math to figure out if I would actually make any points off of that. So that is the update. Sean took a hit, and we're still in the waiting game for me.
I can't understand how I've taken such a hit on this game. I mean, we're going to talk about that in a minute, but
we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Why don't we get right into why we can't understand that in our top spot? Okay. Hey, Redfall dropped, and everybody fucking hates it. Except for apparently us, Sean. Except for apparently us.
Yeah, I don't understand. I kind of do understand. They've released a game which says it was going to be 60 frames a second, without it being able to achieve 60 frames a second. And we know I was worried about this. We knew that it kind of turned me away from the game a little bit. And I was like, But then I have literally played 4.5 hours of it today. So take it from somebody that was completely on the fence and very much pessimistic about the game's release, that I should have been more optimistic. And it's great. I love it. We had a good time playing it. Multiplayer with absolutely no hiccups. The game was flawless. There was no issues. The only issue we had was Discord and Xbox marrying together for the chat, which we soon figured out. It was nothing to do with the game at all. The only minor glitch that you saw was the fact that my character, from your perspective, kind of just skated around and didn't really walk. But you get that in any multiplayer games.
Yeah, online. And it didn't last for very long. It was just like 15, 20 seconds where Sean was doing some awesome skating. No, Antonio, there was absolutely no bugs. Like, I mean, I had heard of like the partners disappearing in co-op and hard freezes and blah. Now, granted, I mean, Sean's played more than I. Did you have anything? I've played for about 2.5 hours. Sean's played for about 4.5. Did you have anything other when you played alone? Because I didn't. Everything worked fine for me. Did you have any bugs or anything?
I've had one moment. It's an open world game, so what I tend to do in an open world game, I do this with Far Cry. I do it with everything. Grand Theft Auto. I did it with Grand Theft Auto. Is I go to the outermost edge of the map where you can guarantee that they kind of don't polish it up as much, because who the fuck goes to the edge of the map and walks all the way around? So that's what I did like for the best part of this evening. Like, Lindsay took herself up to bed early this evening. She's really tired. Went and did some reading. That was at like 8:20. So I went into the garage, grabbed the beanbag, and was like, this is awesome. It's not very often I get this opportunity to play loads of a game before we podcast. So I did that. And I spent like an hour going to the far reaches of the map, which they've done a really interesting thing. The vampires in the game have removed all the water from the sea and created a giant tidal wave around the entire island of Redfall. So you can like escape. Basically, it stops anybody being able to escape, but it also creates a really cool boundary for the game. So
that's cool.
Like, as you get close, as you walk up to the edge, there's just a fucking wall of water coming over the top of you, and you're like, oh wow, okay. but there's boats and planes and stuff littered all over the what would be the seabed.
Sure. That's cool.
And it's great, and there's stuff in those as well. So like, there's like things to be able to pick up. There's stuff that you can harvest for basically you send it back to the fire station for cash.
Yeah. I didn't understand that when we were playing, by the way. I was picking up this shit and I was like, is it just going into my like inventory? I literally picked up like birth control pills at one point when we were playing. I was like, what am I gonna do with freaking birth control? But then I realized, oh, it just like immediately turns it into cash for you. And I was like, oh, that's actually really smart. Okay, I like that. Hogwarts could use a subversion of that where I'm picking up all this shit that I don't need and I just got then I have to anyways, whatever. That's another.
Yeah. Yeah, but the way they work it out is really, really weird. Like at one point, I picked up a teddy bear; it was worth 200, and then I picked up a gem infused egg, and it was 50. I was like, the pricing doesn't work out for this.
Yeah,
but
it is weird.
But yeah, like every time you go into a toilet, there's like you can pick up all the toilet roll, you can pick up the bleach, you can pick up like all the prescription pills, and it just generates cash. And at one point, I think I had 55,000 because as I've been walking all the way around, I'm just constantly spamming the X button to pick everything up, and it was great. So I walked all the way around the outskirts, and there was one moment where I was climbing, and it glitched into the graphics ever so slightly, but it slid straight back out. There was no like, I didn't have to restart the game. It was just like this ledge that I tried to climb up on just disappeared, and then as I slid back out of the graphics, it reappeared.
Yeah. So, okay. So let's get, this is not, Antonio's giving me the birds and bees over here with birth control. I really appreciate that. Why do I need it? Antonio's like, well, let me tell you why. Okay. This is not a next gen game in the form of graphics, right? I mean, this looks pretty sketchy. I mean, it looks like something you could see on the Switch. I don't know if it could handle the amount of area that it has, but it's not pretty. It's not going to have the shiny, glimmery ray traciness, and it doesn't, and the textures aren't fantastic, and blah, 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 blah. So if you want to knock it for that, which you should, okay, this is supposed to be a next-gen game, so I'm not saying you shouldn't. So knock it for that. But I don't understand. I went through, there's 30-some on OpenCritic. I went through a bunch of them. Here's the two things that I kept hearing. It's not what I expected, and, well, it's not as good as past Arcane games. What, is that how we review games now? Like, well, it's not what I thought it would be, so I guess it sucks. Or, well, you know what? I mean, what? So if Tears of the Kingdom comes out and we're like, well, it's not as good as Breath of the Wild, so 6 out of 10, I guess, I don't understand, Well, they've done better, so I guess this time I don't know. I think the review system on this one's a bit skewed. I don't understand it, to be honest.
Yeah. The thing is that graphically, and this is, I'm going to go in a few different directions here, so bear with me. Graphically, to look at, no, it's not next gen. You're not looking at like details. You're not looking at light, ray tracing. You're getting all the reflections of everything. You aren't getting it, but it makes the game less gruesome. So, age-wise, you can kind of you can get away with it being, rather than being an 18, you could get away with it being a 15 easy, because you've got the reference of violence and etc. etc. There isn't a great deal of language in it, which is great to see. That it's not just filled with profanity, because they could back it all up with profanity. But because it hasn't got the high level of detail you've got in terms of graphics, you've got the ability that there's so many places you can go. Like there's so many houses you can go in. There's all the different levels within the houses that you can go through. It gives you like the ability when you're facing the vampires, which can move really fast, and all the different type of vampires. It gives the ability for the game to handle the graphics of those moving quickly really well. Because if it didn't, you could start to see issues with between the S and the X, and have it looking like crap basically.
Mm-hmm.
So that plays really well. The thing that I kind of don't like is there isn't a crafting aspect to this. You're picking up like wrenches, hammers, nails, toothpaste, pills, this, that, and the other. And in the game, you've got the mechanic that there is, you can use lockpicks and you can use hackbots. So basically, if there's like a numeric lock, you can hack it with a hackbot, and it opens doors and crates and chests and stuff like that. Or you can pick locks, which does exactly the same, but on things that aren't digital. You can craft these, but you can pick up enough crap to make enough money to buy several. So it kind of that outweighs it. The skill tree system is difficult. Getting XP points, you are hammering, like I'm absolutely hammering the side missions to get the XP points to level up. I think I'm like at level 5, and I need to get to level 6 to use something that I picked up while we were playing together, a blood curse that I picked up while we were playing together, which I can't use it. It's there in my inventory, but it's locked. I can't do anything with it.
Yeah, and every level is not a skill point, as I believe. I thought I would be getting a skill point every time I leveled up, and I was like, oh, I just leveled up, and so I went to like add something. I was like, oh, I didn't get a skill point. Okay, well that sucks. And so I don't really know when I get a skill point and when I don't. So that is
it is a skill point per level up.
I must have missed something then. I must have not realized that I used one or something.
Yeah, I've unlocked 5, and I'm at level 5. I'm very close to getting to the level 6.
Okay.
I was in the middle of one of the main story missions before we started. The other issue I've got with the game is there's all the stuff where like if you pause the game or go in to change your loadout or edit, you customize your character, and there's vampires nearby. There's no way of, unless you hide yourself away or come very far away. If you're seeing the little subtitles about like vampires, saying how they enjoy it when the victims run and scream, you're going to be in trouble if you stand still for too long and just kind of piss about in the menus.
It's the dumbest shit. If you are playing single player, okay? If you're playing single player, let me pause the damn game. I mean, this is like an Elden Ring problem too. Like, I don't understand what the deal is here. If I am playing single player, I get you're playing co-op. You just got to go with the flow. But I don't understand why we can't make some differences for like single player. And okay, we're playing co-op. Okay, so no pause anymore. Now you have pause. Now you don't. I don't understand why we can't make those changes.
Horror Acolyte puts it. This is the element of always being online that I don't like, because you can't pause it. There's no like, oh, I need to make somebody's ringing me. I need to take this phone call because it's really important. Like if you were playing during the day at work at home and you were picking up work emails and stuff, so you can go away and you can't like take this email or take this call, and you can't be involved in that while you're playing the game unless you really hide yourself away. Or go to a safe house. If you can just fast travel straight to a safe house, then that's fine. That does that. I haven't had any issues coming away from the game. So after we played, I exited to the main screen, turned the Xbox off, came back, and there was no failed to connect kind of loop that I had to go through. It popped up once, and then I tried it again, and it was like straight. And I was like, oh, cool. I like that. Because I've played games like Deathloop did that. You had to kind of kill the game completely and dashboard it and mess around. And this Dreamlight Valley did it as well. So.
Yeah. Well, and they're getting better with that. Dreamlight Valley did it in the beginning, but then after a couple months, they figured it out and they stopped doing it. But yeah, in the beginning, it was very annoying.
But yeah, I mean, the game is a lot of fun. There is a lot to it. There's different vampires which have different abilities. I've come up against a siphon, an angler, and a shroud. All have different abilities. The angler can hit you with a harpoon and drag you all the way up to it and bite you, which can take some mega health away. The siphon basically just starts draining your health bar, and it does it fast. So you kind of like, when I came up against that, I was like, wow, this is intense. I had to kind of, I died. I had to think about what I was doing and stuff. So as long as you break line of sight with it, he can't get you. So I kind of did that. And then the shroud, I came across it, couldn't see it, couldn't find it, but it could definitely find me, and it basically just turned everything black. I was like, okay, yeah. So, and that's in the theater, which I think you You
Yeah.
went there, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
you,
went there.
you dealt
I
with the
needed
same
my
thing.
popcorn, Sean. So I had to, I had to risk my life to fix the popcorn machine. It only made sense. Yeah, I did defeat that one, but it was not easy. Just like he kept shooting these balls of light at me out of nowhere. Um, yeah. So the game is not great, but it's also I don't know what a 6 is to people. I mean, a 6 to me is like, ooh. I don't know. If I had to rate it, I'd say it's an 8, probably.
Yeah,
That's
I'd
what
have
I'd
said an
say.
8. If I'm to go away and think, okay, I'm not looking at this game at how graphically great it is, the fact that it's on a next gen console. I'm looking at this game on the like how much there is to do, the detail and level of like places you can go. Which of an open world game, you sometimes can be very limited. Like you can be walking through a town and every door you come across you can't go in. I'd say 80% of the doors that you come across you can unlock or
Mhm.
walk through and explore inside houses and shops and stuff like
I
that.
thought, I heard something about it feeling really desolate inside. Um, Antonio says a 6 is something you play when you're ashamed to tell your friends. Um, uh, Somebody said that the world just felt empty. I didn't feel that way. I felt like there was a cult. Like every time I came over a hill, I was like, shit, another freaking like group of these people. Um, so if there wasn't a cult, and then you have the vampires scattered all over, and so yeah, I didn't feel like it was dead. And even when there wasn't like a cult there was something that I could unlock or grab or do or blow up or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I was prepared for a really shitty experience, and that's not what I found. But if you purchased your Series X because you wanted light to shine off a shit like it's gonna on Forza Motorsports, and that's your baby, and that's what you want, then sure, you're looking at this like a 4 out of 10. I mean, that's just a fact. Like if you don't care about the gameplay, if your first level is like, well, does it got the graphics with the ray chasey stuff and the fancy fancies and all that jazz? If it doesn't have that, if that's everything to you, then yeah, I say stay away from this game because it's not that. It's not that. It's got a fun gameplay loop, in my opinion. You're in the firehouse, doing your thing, buying your stuff, taking a mission. You're out, you're exploring, you're doing your mission, but then also you can go and do a bunch of side missions. As Sean and I found out, we were like trying to do one thing and we did like 4 other things as well. And then you're back in the firehouse and you do it all over again, and it's fun.
Yep. I did. You remember when we found the safe house? So as you're going around, there's different districts. So there's different, like there's Old Town District. There's So the map's split up into parts, and each part has its own safe house. If And then while we were in that safe house, we saw the whole tapestry that was on the wall. You could pick up the missions from there. So doing those missions allows you to capture the neighborhood and make it completely safe. So like there's a level bar for each neighborhood to be a level of safe. And I think Ninja Lunchbox mentioned this in the Discord chat that he had defeated one of the underbosses and got an underboss skull. I don't know what they do. I now have one, but I don't know what it does. I was kind of like distracted by another mission before I could figure out what it did.
Mm-hmm. That explains something because I was a little miffed when I went back out and I went back to Wheeler's Sporting Goods, where we were, and I was like, oh, F me, everything's back. Like I gotta fight all these people again. So they all are gonna come back until you clear the neighborhood, basically.
Yeah, I also have a feeling that because we played that together as a multiplayer and you were the host, that you kept the level of progression through the game. But I think it resets the enemies when you're playing it solo because there was definitely more AI playing with you than there is on my own.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. So yeah, that's where we're at. We liked it, but we'll give you the caveats. It's not the prettiest game you're going to play on Series X. That's just a fact. I mean, they can clean it up. I'm sure they can make the textures nicer and all that fun stuff, but it's never probably going to be. I don't even know if it was ever intended, Sean, to be what people are looking for here or what people were expecting. It's not. I don't think it has the art style for what they're looking for. Sean, I'll let you answer this question from Antonio. He says, "How is the gunplay?" You're the Call of Duty guy. You have a better answer for that probably than me.
So Pure Xbox have released a little piece telling you to change some settings. So if you go into the controller settings in the game, you need to change the like it's something called input. I quickly just jumped to Pure Xbox, but you change the controller sensitivity for a start. Go um, straight to the control settings and up the sensitivity. I've currently got it at 3.5. You can take it to 4, but 3.5 was pretty comfortable for me. The other one that you want to change is input response preset. Change that to down low. Put that as low as it'll go because that it just cleans the game up a little bit. You're not having it doesn't feel like you're dying around as much. But yeah, so they're the two for playing it on the console at the moment. They are the two that you definitely want to change. So input response to low and change the controller sensitivity to like a 3.5 to 4. I did that after we played, and I'm now finding it to be gunplay wise a lot better. Like the shot, like everything kind of responds, and most guns as well, like the shotgun, the ray guns, have a different scope of damage when you're either aim down sight or hip firing. So just play around with those.
Mm-hmm. I thought the type of guns were fun. You know, you got shotguns with stakes on the end of them. You got automatics with stakes on the end of them. You got this UV beam gun. You got a harpoony type thing that's shooting harpoons out. I mean, they know who you're hunting, and they give you all these fun types of ways to basically kill them. And then there's all kinds of. And then there's, just all kinds of your regular guns too. I still use that clacker. It's like a automatic handgun. I love that thing. I was using that with you, and I still used it for most of the mission that I did solo. So yeah, I found the choice of weapons. My special was like an electrified bolt, which I absolutely loved. Sean will tell you, I was throwing that thing out every time I could, every time it came to somebody, and it was effective too. Like, I mean, it didn't kill the enemies in one shot, but it definitely made them stay in place.
And like the more I played, because I have picked up Remy, so I'm playing as Remy, and her ability, she's got this tiny little robot that I can't quite remember the name of, and you can one of the ability to this, yeah, the ability of the robot is that you can tell it to go somewhere, and it starts making an alarm, and it draws everybody to that spot. They all attack that instead of attacking you. Now, if you tie that with your little electrical harpoon that you throw down, you can then, not only do they go there and you gather them all in one place, you can then start shocking them and causing some kind of elemental damage at the same time as doing other stuff as well. And it's that I haven't played around with the other characters. I don't know what their abilities are, but I'd imagine that if you're playing as a quad and everybody uses their abilities at the same time, that you can stack attacks really, really well. Remy's other ability is that she can like heal. So if you press both the bumper buttons at the same time, once you've built the ability up, like it just creates like a giant whirlwind where if everybody's stood in there, it takes your health bar all the way back up. It's good. The only issue I have with this as well with the game again is I was talking to Jaya about it. She was watching me play while we were playing earlier. She was kind of like hovering in the background and watching, and she'd disappear off. And she asked about it, and she asked me what the game was called. And she's on a 1S, and it's not available for those yet. So she went to look for it and download it because she was really interested in playing the game, which says how great the game was. Say again?
I said, which would be fun for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, but like she's upset that it's not out yet. So I'm assuming that once they've patched a few things and got it to work a little bit better on the S and X, that they might do a backwards release.
Sure. Yeah. I think that's about all I got to say on Redfall. I will say, I was playing with you. I was like, let's give it. It's not too bad. It's not. I don't know. I'm fine with it, John. It's no big deal. But then I started to play with myself. I'm much more like focused and into the game, and I get lost and like all of a sudden I was like, this is a lot more spooky than when I was playing with Sean. It's a lot. It's, you're just kind of chatting back and forth, and you're not really listening to the music or really. I don't know. You're not focused as much on on the creepy ass music and the fact that there's this vampire hunting you in the theater. But yeah, so I will likely keep playing it, but I don't know if this is the game that I will finish, which was always was always on the fence for me if I would finish this game or how much I would be into it. But
Yeah, if
anything
I could,
else? Oh, go ahead.
I really want to try and get a group of 4 people because like we got the Discord chat, like the party chat working through
Mhm.
Discord really well.
Yeah.
So I'd be really happy at some point trying to organize like because I know Justin's playing it. Mr.
Mhm.
Ninja Lunchbox is in the chat at the moment. I know he's playing it. We're playing it together.
Yeah.
If we could get a fourth to play as well, I'd be really interested to see how well a quad works and how many more enemies there is, and like if they upscale the amount of AI and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Frosticle said he was picking it up, or he was gonna play it tonight. So well, tonight for already happened for
He'll
him.
be sleeping now.
Yeah,
in the UK.
His tonight has already happened, so so he's playing it. So yeah, we'll have to get a time and post it in Discord and see if how many people we can get, time that works for us, and go from there. So that is our personal Redfall preview, review, whatever you want to call it. There is out today. Game Pass is doing they call it a referral program. I don't know if that's the right word for it, or at least that's what I've heard it called. It's not really. You're basically just usually a referral program is like where you refer somebody and they get something and you get something. You're not getting anything here. You're just giving a friend 2 weeks basically of Game Pass for free, and
you're getting time to play with your friend on Game Pass.
Oh, shucks. That's a good way to look at it. I actually did send it to somebody I know who, for some reason, like refuses to get Game Pass. They only play Warzone, and so I was like, here. I was like, try this. I was like, maybe I can get you sucked in. And so, but in the notes in the FAQ that I was reading, you get to do this every year. So basically, it's a new program they've started where you get 5 referrals. You can send them out to whoever you want. Basically, you get 5 Game Pass gifts, and you can give them out once a year, and they reset January 1st of each year, and then you can do it 5 more times the next year. So there you go. I mean, it definitely works in Xbox's favor, right? Maybe they'll suck in, I don't know, 10% of the people that get invited, and there you go, helps them out.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this now. Like, it says strangely, these 5 trials are currently restricted to just PC Game Pass. There doesn't appear to be any reward option for friends who may want to play on console.
Is that
however,
true?
console players can be on the referring end. With the 14-day trials are a perk for Game Pass Ultimate players to hand out as well as standard PC Game Pass subscribers.
I thought it was on everything.
Yeah, I think that is. I think it is on everything. I don't understand that statement in the release for it, but hey, I'm off for that. It's cool. If you like you said, if you've done the right way, you've got somebody that's kind of like on the fence. Oh, I'm not going to get it. I just play Warzone. You sent that to them, and they're going to be like, "Holy crap, this is amazing!" It's like there's so many games I can play.
Yeah. I think it's great. If I understand it right, which Pure Xbox is making me wonder if I do. But I thought. I mean, I read the FAQ. I was pretty sure I understood it. Because now we're cool enough to get stuff straight from Xbox's PR firm, which by the way is really fantastic that they just send us stuff now. So, so I read all that and I was pretty sure I understood it, but I don't know. So referral program. You can access it from Xbox.com. They said you were going to be able to access it from the dashboard in Game Pass. I did not see it earlier today, but I looked pretty much right as they announced it. So I don't know. It might pop up here.
There is a dashboard update coming soon. So expect your console to be doing and well, it's there in our news bulletins, new Xbox dashboard coming our way. So expect that to possibly pop up at the same time as that update.
Yep. The last, I don't know if this is really a top story, Sean. These TV shows, series are just killing me, man. They're just killing me. I couldn't believe what I read. Vampire Survivors, which by the way, The video game's great. I'm not knocking the video game. I think it's awesome. I every once in a while dabble back into it and play a few runs or whatever. I get sucked into it for like a week and then I drop back out. It's getting a TV series. I think it's an animated TV series, but yet like, does every video game? I also just read that Gran Turismo is getting a TV series as well. Does every video game get a TV series now? Is it just like it's like Oprah and Christmas gifts? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I
thought Gran Turismo was a film. I thought they were making a film.
Oh hell, maybe it's a film. I can't keep up. Sure, you
'Cause
win.
it's obviously being produced by Sony, and it's got DK Harbour in it and a couple of other actors. I think Zac Efron's possibly in it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm quite looking forward to the Gran Turismo because it's going to be nice to see some fast paced action scenes and stuff in cars. But Vampire Survivors is just going to be like mental. Like I haven't played the game, but looking at the screenshots and the video footage that like Ninja Lunchbox shares and what you share, it's like just hordes and waves of pixels getting smashed by other pixels.
Yeah, I can't wait. The first episode is going to be this guy that just like wakes up and he's just going to have like this gun and it's just going to like shoot continuously. He's like, shit, my gun. It just continually shoots. I don't know what to do. Because it's just like there's no like shoot. You just shoot. He just shoots. Whatever it is, it just happens. And so he's just gonna like shit. And he's just like aiming and just like hordes of zombies and bats and I don't know. Probably start with bats. Probably episode 1 will just be bats. Blue bats just keep flying at him, and he just keeps shooting them. It'll be fantastic. Antonio's looking forward to Gran Turismo as well, along with Twisted Metal. So there you go. See?
Yeah, I haven't watched the Twisted Metal trailer yet, but yeah, I can imagine that's also going to be a lot of fun because that game was hilariously great. So,
hey, if they're good, they're good. I guess. I don't know. It just seems crazy to me. News bulletins, as Sean touched on, the dashboard, new dashboards coming our way, and people are really excited about this. From what I hear, the biggest upgrade is that they've pushed made space for you to see your backdrop picture now, which is good because mine's the Hogwarts castle, so I'll be really happy that I can get a better view of it. But
mine's a screenshot I took from Session Skateboard of my guy doing it took me a while to do the gap, so I thought I'd take a picture of it, and yeah,
nice.
I like it, and I like that the icons for the game seem smaller, so you can get more locked to the dashboard than what it looks like you used to be able to.
Yeah, I think that's great. We are not insider cool, so we have not seen it. I mean, we have not had it yet, had access to it. But from what we see, yeah, it looks pretty cool. Mine also is a screenshot. I was at the end to get a really nice picture of Hogwarts Castle. So another freaking controller, man. The Sun-Kissed Vibes controller, which is kind of like a tangerine orange with a little bit of, I don't know, type greeny stuff, whatever. It didn't really do anything for me. They must make a shit ton of money off of these things. That's all I can think. I mean,
yeah. Who do they work? Who's the collaboration with?
Oh, I don't know. Is there a collaboration with this one?
Yeah, OP Friends, which is it's got a nail range, like for different nail polishes and stuff like that. And Sunkist is one of those. So I think this is because obviously they reach into all the different genders in the whole community of gaming. They kind of target a few things. Like they give the hardcore gamers, like the people who are like really into Redfall. You've got lots of different Redfall kind of colors. But then if you want to have something that isn't vampire based and stuff and kind of looks nice, and you've got an aesthetic, especially this one, like some of the gaming setups I've seen for people online, that'll fit quite well into that. So
Sure. And those are our news bulletins. Acquisition Watch, folks. We have
had enough of Acquisition Watch.
Yes, thank you.
Basically.
Apparently we have, because I don't even know what I'm trying to say. We have an announcement. That's what I'm trying to say, Sean. I could not think of the word announcement. We have an announcement about Acquisition Watch, and that is exactly what Sean just gave you. We've had enough of it. We are done with it. We ain't fucking talking about it. And when we want to, we will put it in a special separate podcast, not like its own feed. It'll come in the Game Pass news feed, but it'll be separate from our main podcast. We were kind of like looking down the barrel, thinking we were at the end, and then Sean's country had to go screw it all up, and so now. I'm just kidding. And so,
it's true because the last piece of news that I want to say about this is if it falls through, as well as having to pay the $3 billion fee or I don't know fine for it all falling through and wasting people's time, they're also not allowed to reapply for the acquisition for 10 years.
I saw that. Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
it's
a
joke.
Yeah, so we are done talking about it, and we'll let you know when there's bigger news. But if we want to touch on the little tidbits of news that we've been giving you for the last 5 years, it feels like, we'll do that in a separate podcast. So that's Acquisition Watch. Game Pass headlines out since the last time we recorded is Redfall, which I believe we have beaten. So, we won't talk anymore about that. Coming next week, Sean, I am looking forward to this game. I hope it is as good as it looks like it could be. Ravenlock comes out May 4th. I will be streaming it. I have some time that day. I will be streaming that game, and I'm kind of excited about it, if you couldn't tell. I think it has some real potential.
It's Thursday. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah. So, also May 8th of next week, we get Weird West Definitive Edition. If you're a Game Pass member and you say, that sounds familiar, that's because you can play it right now. It's just not the Definitive Edition. So now you can play the Definitive Edition on the console only, by the way, May 8th. Shadowrun Trilogy coming to the PC May 9th. If you're like, man, that sounds... Shadowrun, that sounds familiar. That's because you can play all 3 games on console and cloud separately. But now the PC, for some reason, gets the trilogy, but console and cloud doesn't. So there you go. Now, to get to something absolutely new, Fuga Melodies of Steel 2 everywhere, May 11th. That's an actual Game Pass edition, unlike the last 2, really, which are just kind of changes to things that already exist. So that is coming out May 11th. And Sean, I did not do good research on that. I don't.
No, it's a tactical role-playing game. Yeah.
Sean stopped reading after tactical role-playing game.
Yes, it's obviously the second part in the series, published by CyberConnect 2, and it's the 4th title in the company's Trail Bronx series. But yeah, it just says that it's a tactical role-playing video game developed by published CyberConnect 2. Quick looking at somebody's review here. They're saying, agree. Why do I have to agree to these? Wow, that's a really in-depth review.
Why do you have to write so much?
I just want like skim the bit off the top.
Don't worry, I just poured me new tea while you were looking, so it worked out great.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't find anything. All the reviews are very, very long, so I can't find it.
It's a long game, and it's a tactical role-playing game. There you go. We have new games leaving, Sean Abbott. New games leaving Before We Leave, which was a real-time strategy game that I previewed on our YouTube, seems like a year ago or so. Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. I've not played any of those games, but that also is leaving May 15th. Her Story, which Sean absolutely... Did you like or not like? I don't remember. You played that game? It was a picture game. I thought you absolutely hated that game.
Oh, yeah. That was one of... what's his name now? The Sam Barlow games, which I completely did not understand. So.
That was great. Oh, yeah, that game. Yeah.
That's how much I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it. Is I completely shut it out of my brain.
Umurangi Generation Special Edition. I love how 3 of the 5 games leaving have addition in their channel. I think you did play that one, Sean. I think that was a camera game.
Yes,
That
and
you
that was
played.
that was good fun.
Mhm.
So I'd give that one a go before it disappears, because if you like photography and weird Japanese like art style, that is a good one to play.
Yeah,
And there is a YouTube video of it as well on our YouTube, I believe.
and so you have 2 weeks to play the game, or you can just get your 20% discount. But you got to get it done before the 15th of May. I'm sure we'll tell you this again, but I'm telling it to you now. Games with gold. Anything new, my friend?
Yeah, so one of the games has disappeared. I think it's Couch, the whole Couch co-op one has disappeared, and in its place is Star Wars Pod Racer. Star Wars, is it Pod Racer or is it just called Star Wars Racer, which is the pod racing Star Wars game, which after this I'm going to go claim because it was one of my favorite ones to play. So.
Sean willed that to happen. I swear. That's just so crazy that we were talking about that a few weeks ago.
We
And
literally we had Bruce on, and we were like, oh yeah, like he really loves Star Wars games, and I was trying to think of, is there anything that I actually played and enjoyed that was Star Wars other than X-Wing versus TIE Fighter? And it was the podcast pod racing game.
Mm-hmm. That's so funny. All right, and that is Games with Gold, and that is Top Stories, and now it's time for what we've been playing, better known as Xbox Spotlight. All right, sir. I don't know. You want to go first? You go first.
Yeah, I'll go for it. So obviously we've talked very strongly about Redfall.
Mm-hmm.
Just a very quick recap in case you skip all the Redfall stuff we show on spoilers. Fantastic game, a lot of fun. Isn't the prettiest, but it has stronger points because of it's not trying to deal with stupid graphics being horrendously detailed all the time. So yeah, go play it. Go see what you think. If you aren't bothered about spoilers and how the story starts, etc., go and check out the video that we made on Twitch. I'm pretty sure it's going to make its way to YouTube as well.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Yeah, it was live on YouTube. It's there.
Fancy.
You better believe it.
The other 2 games I've been playing are completely unrelated to Xbox. I played some Bowser's Fury last night. Lindsay had a book that she wanted to finish that she'd been reading for a while because she's not enjoyed it. It's been a very hard read. But she's on a mission to read 12 books this year, so she wanted to get it done. So I picked up Bowser's Fury on the Switch while we were in bed. It was one of them where I played enough to defeat Bowser and roll the credits. And then I just kind of realized I only have like 32 cat shines is 100. So I set on about trying to collect all the other cat shines, and I'm like almost into the 80s.
Nice.
So,
yeah,
an hour and a half of cat shine collecting.
That game is fun. I would love like a multi-world, like you get set into a big open world and then you go to another big open world. Like I would absolutely love to be that to be the next Mario game.
I like to do that and combine a little bit of Mario Galaxy in there as well.
Yeah. Hey, I love the physics of Mario Galaxy for sure. Antonio says he's just going to try to read 12. He'll be lucky if he can read 12 street signs this year. So there you go. We all have goals, Antonio.
Yeah,
I ain't not.
Yeah, it's one of the things. Like since she did that, we now have a house full of books. There's books everywhere in this house. It's unreal.
You're like 12 books. Why did you have to buy 300? You're only reading 12.
Well, when we clear Jay's room out, she's got over 100 books. I'm currently looking at Lindsay's to read shelf, and there is 1, 2, 3. There's 15 books up there. One of them is mine. I'm in the middle of reading Jack Carr's the Terminal List because I want to watch the Amazon Prime video as well. So
yeah. Yep.
But anyway, I take it we had a squirrel moment there. I digress. The other game that I've been playing is a mobile game from Apple Arcade. It's called Lifeline Plus. This was a standalone game that you could purchase before Apple Arcade picked it up. It's a text-based adventure simulator style game where somebody called Taylor wakes up on a deserted moon, basically after crashing down from their ship. And the only part of communication anybody they got to speak to is yourself. You listen to what he's got to say, his description he's going to do, and you occasionally get to jump in and kind of like help make a decision. It'll be a 50-50, usually 50, well, always 50-50. You get either a decision A or decision B. Do this, do that. I played it through to the point now where I kind of got myself into a situation where it was a die situation. He was either going to be infested by some kind of alien or blow everything up. So we blew everything up.
Nice. That's the way to go.
You do that,
don't be infested by aliens. You gave him the better way out. I mean, if he's got to go, you don't want to be infested by aliens.
Yeah. Which then it kind of starts a bonus story, but I didn't want to start the bonus story. I've gone back and started the whole thing all over again, and I want to change the direction he goes in. I don't want to head towards the peak this time. I'm going to try and get him to stay around with the captain and help that side of things out.
So how long did it take you for a run? I mean, it's basically like a run, right? I mean, it's like a roguelike almost, except it's like a text-based roguelike game.
Yeah, in life, between like obviously doing other things and just picking it up where I had like if I was like sat waiting for the kids to come out of school, or it was like just we were sat on the sofa and what was on the TV I wasn't engaged in. I kind of picked it up. I'd say 3 days.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That's going to take some time. Now, you literally have to wait real time, right? So, like, you'll tell him to do something. You'll be like, all right, I'm gone. And he, like, you just won't hear from him for like 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours? Like, what?
Yeah. Or if like at the end of the first day, obviously as the sun is dropping on the planet, he's going to get cold, he's going to do this, and he goes to sleep. And like it's literally 6 hours, so in real time. So
that's so fascinating. Also, does it? I asked you this. Does it explain away why you're not talking to whatever some other person who's smarter than you? That like you're equivalent to NASA. I don't know whatever UK's equivalent to NASA is. You're just like nah, don't worry, I got this. Just go over here. I don't know shit about this moon, but yeah, don't worry about it. You just do what I'm telling you. I just think that's fantastic.
Yeah, it doesn't give it away. It just kind of says like you are the only person that they've managed to make contact with, but it's great. It's good fun. It's one of those things where it kind of runs in the background. He's currently sat there waiting right now for me to make some kind of decision, but he has been doing that since this morning. So,
that poor son of a gun. He's like, hey, I'm here, and there's this guy with a gun, and he's got a green face. What should I do? No, don't worry. Don't hurry up, Sean. I'm fine. Take your time.
the only gripe I have with it is that because obviously they're coming through as just tiny little communication logs. Like if there's 13 in a row, you get 13 notifications. So like all my notifications ping through to my watch. So in the Discord, if you put something in the party chat in our Discord, it automatically sends me a notification because I like to keep like up to date with everything that everyone's talking about. So that like I'd be driving along and like my watch would go off and it'd go off and it'd go off and it'd go off and I'm like, oh Christ! And like I'd look at it and be like, all right, it's fucking Taylor. I don't give a shit. Just leave me alone. So I went into the settings in my phone and I was like, okay, I don't want the notifications for that to my watch. And I also don't want the notifications to just make a noise. I don't mind them being on the lock screen grouped together, but I didn't want my phone to constantly go boop boop. That just get really annoying.
Also, it sounds like you have a frog on your wrist, so you don't want that either.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's it. That's all I've been playing. I fired up Mighty Doom for like 10 minutes earlier and did one run, and then turned it off again. So I don't want to talk about that.
Well, I do. I will start with Mighty Doom since you ended with it. Mighty Doom, I beat World 7 pretty handily, actually. Sean's giving me the old salute over here. So I mean, I don't know. This game, I don't even know if I'd call it fun, Sean. It's just a good like time suck when you're just like, well, all right, what else am I gonna do? I'm not gonna break out the Switch. I don't have enough time. So that's why a lot of times, like, I don't find the main runs all that fun. So, but the three challenges you do are cool, and so I just jump over and do these quick three challenges. You can blow through them pretty quick. I'm just dinking around, seeing what I can get, seeing how high I can get. And then when I think I'm sufficiently like overpowered, then I just go and try the run. And if it's hard at all, I'm like, no, I don't want to deal with this. Like, I'm not even gonna try it until I know that I can just kind of like blow through it. So yeah, I've been having a good time with it. It's a fun just way to waste some time when you don't have anything else to do. Which really I probably always have other things to do, but I just like to think I don't.
That's just life.
Yeah, exactly. Still playing Advanced Wars. Noah absolutely loves this game. He loves to sit and watch me just kind of try to, and then he loves to try to like be that. He's like, no, Dad, go over here and do this. And you know, sometimes he's right. Sometimes he's like, wait, Dad, you can't go there. Watch out for the rockets. The rockets will get you. And I'm like, oh yeah, those rockets. So I mean, like, he's not just watching. He's participating. He's helpful. And so I don't. Again, I think I said this last podcast. I don't know why sometimes these turn-based games like just really click with me, and sometimes I'm like, it's a turn-based game. This sucks. I don't know. But Mario Rabbids, Advanced Wars, they're knocking it out of the park. Maybe it's a Nintendo thing. Maybe they understand me with these things. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know.
Except for Fire Emblem, because Fire Emblem can go like die in a fire, and I don't care.
Yeah, I can see Antonio's in the chat saying that like he wishes he had dick around time. Like literally, my dick around time is when I'm waiting for children. So like because I don't work through the day a lot. I play a lot of Dad Taxi, and so I do school runs. I do like taking people to and from work. So if I'm sat outside somebody's work waiting for them to finish, I kind of like can end up sat there for like 20 minutes sometimes. So that my dick around time is basically when I'm waiting on other people.
Here you go, Sean. We're gonna change the name of the podcast. My dick around time is when I'm on the toilet. So there you go. I don't know. That is factual. I don't know what else to say. That's literally where I beat World 7. I was sitting on the toilet, and let me tell you, that's 40 levels. That took a long time. I had to get up
That's
slowly.
A big shit.
I know. I had to get up slowly because I was like, I am not sure if I'm going to fall over because my legs are slightly numb. But I was like, dang, I was doing so good. I was like, well, I'm just going to keep going. It's a good 25 minutes probably. But my wife knows. USA, she's like, Becca knows. She's like, oh, God, he's doing his thing in there. Whatever. I'm not even going
to. Man from USA sues Bethesda for loss of feeling in feet.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, that's how it works. So, anyways, that's enough about Mighty Doom and my dick around time. Advanced Wars, talk about that. Well, let's go to Homestead of Arcana. So this is a game I said I wanted to get to last week. Didn't have time. This is a quintessential Nick game. It's a farming game with a twist. You're like this wizard. So, like, you use these magical powers to help things grow. It is not the best farming game you're going to play. As a man who has played a poop ton of farming games, this is not the best one. But it does have a fun exploration aspect, and it has that. What it does have is that thing of like, you want to know why this world is the way it is. Like, there's this miasma. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. It's just miasma. So I say miasma. And you can't go in it unless you have a mask. So you need a stronger mask to go further in it and try to figure out what's happening here. And you're a wizard who has been sent out to the edge where this like poisonous atmosphere is to explore, to find out more about it, but then also to grow items to send back to your hometown that you can't grow back at your hometown. Hence, you're a homesteader. Hence, Homestead of Arcana. And so you're just living out here and sending stuff back, and you have a mail guy that comes once a day, and you give stuff to the town and buy stuff from the mail guy, and it is not a great game, and it's not the best of these type of games either. But it is a good game, and if you enjoy these things and that's kind of your shtick, then give it a shot. It's free. It's Game Pass. That's what Game Pass is all about. So I have played a little bit of it. I meant to try it on my phone with the Backbone. If it works with the Backbone, it could pull me away from Mighty Doom, because it would be a fun game to play at night when we're watching whatever on the TV with the wifey, and I can just kind of play a little bit and harvest some stuff and explore a bit, and so yeah. There you go. But oh, and then Kirby. I got 3 levels left in Kirby, and then I'm done. I actually probably could have finished off Sunday, but I figured Noah would want to be there for the very end, so I waited. So hopefully this weekend we will knock that out. And that, my friend, is what I've been playing.
Sweet. We do. I'm currently looking at the party chat or question time section of the Discord, and I'm trying to think: are these ones that we can answer, or are these ones that we can maybe not answer?
Well, you know what? It wouldn't be the first time we had a party chat we couldn't answer, so shoot, and we will do the best we can. We're not even gonna transition. We're just gonna flow with it. Party chat. There you go. There's your transition.
Well, I know what's happening in season 3.
Hopefully not that. We're firing Nick from the jingle business, that's for sure.
We could just go to like all 70s style commercials for everything. It'd be brilliant. So let's see. A lot of these are from Bruce. Bruce likes to ask lots of questions.
We appreciate it.
So his first one is: isn't there any Rockstar games on Game Pass? There used to be. Originally, Grand Theft Auto was on there, and so was Red Dead Redemption. I don't know if there was licensing issues between the two companies, or if just the money ran out, or there was a disagreement. But Grand Theft Auto disappeared like 24 months ago, or something like that, and then Red Dead was like pretty close to when we first started doing Game Pass.
Yeah, that was my first streaming game. I streamed, and I really got kind of sucked into it for a bit, but then I realized how much time or money or it was going to be one or the two to actually get anything done, and I was like, no, I'm out. Because it wasn't Red Dead Redemption, it was Red Dead Redemption Online, so it wasn't like the main game. So yeah, but there you go.
Yep. Bruce's next question, now Discord has disappeared, is: why isn't Mexico in Flight Simulator?
I didn't know it wasn't, to be honest.
Yeah, I've had a look online for this, and I don't know why. Nobody can give a clear answer. There is aspects of Europe and Australia that aren't also covered by a Flight Simulator. So whether or not it was they didn't give Microsoft the go-ahead to kind of map out the real world from above, because obviously that can give people lots of opportunities to plan certain flight paths and do certain stuff.
Sure, that's possible.
So whether or not there was just worries around that and the licensing and legislation and the okay to do so.
When you fly to Mexico, what happens? You know?
Apparently, there's just inanimate objects. There is no like landmarks to spot and fly. It just kind of looks like ground, but nothing to be.
Okay. All right. I did not realize that was a thing. It is kind of weird that if Mexico was like, listen, you can bring all your cameras over here and do all the stuff you apparently did that they say they did for Forza Horizon, but Flight Simulator, no. That does seem a little strange.
Yep. And then his other question, which I think you answered in the Discord, but I'm not 100%.
Is that the one about can you transfer?
Yeah. So no, if you downloaded a game from disc to an Xbox One, you can't then transfer it to a Series S. No, it doesn't work like that.
Xbox tried. They tried to give you that option, but we revolted because the only way you're going to do that is to have the always-on DRM thing, and gamers were like, hey, no, you ain't going to make me have my thing on all the time. That's not how this works. Or not on, but connected to the internet all the time to play. That's not going to happen. So they, backpedaled, and that was it. So yes, if you buy a disc-based, as Jesse said, probably much more elegantly than I'm about to, that disc is your key. So if you cannot put the disc in to show that you own it, then the thing's like, you can't own it. And of course, you have an S.
Yeah.
If you're like us, like me and Bruce, you got the S, you can't put a disc in, so you can't access the key.
Nope. You can't even fit a 3.5-inch floppy into it.
Probably not. Probably not. But I love my little guy. He's great. He causes all kinds of controversies and, people bitch and moan about him. I think it's great.
Yeah, I'm still on the fence of whether or not to pick one up for Jerry because she uses her one Xbox One S at the moment as a DVD player and stuff like that. So she's really is screwed the fact she can't put discs in it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, I guess you got to buy her an X.
Yeah. Cheapy. Somebody was selling one. I'm in a UK gaming community on Facebook with a lot of other dads, and there was a guy on there selling one for 320 the other day, and I seriously considered saying, yeah, okay, but maybe not. We'll see. So,
thanks for all your
she's
questions,
just watching
Bruce.
The DVDs and stuff and the films that she's watching are all like old horror movies, which you can kind of rent from Amazon and stuff like that, or purchase digitally. So I might look down the line of, does she really need the disc capacity? We shall see.
I get you.
But yeah, that is a show. We've almost hit the hour-and-a-half mark again, which is interesting. I think the longest one we've had yet is when we had Bruce on, and we've been kind of edging close to that every single time. So,
all right, send us out, sir.
Cool. As always, thank you everyone for listening. Our socials at Game Pass News. That's across everything: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. If you want to get in touch with us via an email, you can do. You can send one over to gamepassnewscast@gmail.com. If you listen to this via a podcasting app, please leave us a review, give us some stars, helps us get noticed, helps us get up there. If you want access to the Discord where you can ask us questions, you can chat with us, you can try and play Redfall with us, you can subscribe to our Twitch channel and we will sort you the access out. If you're watching this live or you're watching this video back on YouTube or anything like any of the merchandise that you can see in the background, any of the logo stuff you can buy from our shop at redbubble.com. Thanks very much to Horror Accolade, Ninja Lunchbox, and Antonio for jumping on the live chat. And until next time, guys, we shall see you later.
See you later, guys.